With a style easily recognised and an amazing and colourful portfolio of work, Silent Hobo is definitely top tier when it comes to Bristol artists. He was the first artist I found by myself by checking the works and looking for a signature, and after I got familiar with his style, I could recognise a piece before I checked for his signature and I knew it'd be his. His website describes himself as a professional artist, illustrator and a fresco painter, and not a street artist. I hope he doesn't mind being called a street artist, but I will refer to him as a fresco painter, of course. And he's the first person I know to be a man, not like a lizard or a robot like the other people, but they're literally, I've seen an image of him. But obviously I won't be sharing it in this video because I don't know what he wants to do with his image, and out of respect for his privacy, that's definitely one thing I should give to every single graffiti writer, painter, street artist, everyone. I'll include links to the website, YouTube and his Instagram in the description of the video, so be sure to go subscribe to him and follow him on Insta and on his YouTube. Like I said about the rabbit guy, and he can shrink his pieces on scale, make them smaller and nothing's lost. I feel Silent Hobo's the other way, where he can make his pieces absolutely massive and nothing is lost. No proportions are dropped, the colour scheme's out, everything just seems to flow perfectly, like water down a waterfall. His pieces are large and full of expression and consist of murals for the majority, which because of their size will often leave people looking at them for a lot longer to admire the detail and to try and find some smaller things and maybe even Easter eggs of sorts. There is so much flavour and personality in his works, and if we take the one near Portland Square for example, it starts with a woman in a traditional style, like a close-up headshot, then it pans to a mid-shot of another person, another close-up of a person, and then it goes into the full figures. 3 perfectly executed kinds of proportions of humans, and that's just the left side. Then the middle, it shows a dance or a rave scene, and it also shows, I think, Mibsy, if I'm not wrong, by the stereo. And he's a legend of the graffiti scene, because he ran the King of Paint, who unfortunately passed away in 2014 at the age of only 39. So then it becomes like a countryside and it limits the kind of scene to a family. There is so much variety in this piece and it shows like a rich culture of Bristol, and especially for the St Paul's area. His work nearly always features humans, and if not then animals, and which are always created in an animation style, and it makes me think of the uncanny valley theory, meaning that they're realistic but not too realistic, so they're at a relative point that makes us find them absolutely amazing and some supreme beauty, because the more realistic it looks, the less beauty is to be found because you're confused whether it's real or not real. But with this it just hits the soul. His work has achieved massive commercial success, and it would be worth any company or business to work with him. There have been massive brands like Google and Levi's that have. Around Bristol you can see places that have hired him, and it always gives a local feel to any establishment. The Surf, Skate and Snow is a classic piece, at one point was at risk of being destroyed, and there was a petition on his website to keep it, and it must have worked because it's 2020 and it's still there. There truly is something about having graffiti writers or street artists or fresco painters work with your business in Bristol. It really does blend. It's the sugar in the tea, it really is. It's the je ne sais quoi, if you will. Art tells a story, but I feel in the case of Silent Hobo, each one of his pieces is a universe of stories, and each piece speaks for itself, and I can't stress enough how dope it is at that scale. Like watching a video on this screen is sort of minimalising it, but when you're next to a piece, it really pops. The people are often bigger than us. I can't quite say it's the scale of the Grand Canyon, but people say when you stand next to the Grand Canyon, you truly appreciate the spectra and the scope and the scale of it. And that's how I feel with Silent Hobo's artwork. All of them are absolutely stunning. And to have a message too, like recycling, is again very important. I mean, it's one thing we can all do that kind of helps. It's so basic, so yeah. Shout out to Silent to have a good message like that. And look, there's me. But that's not actually me, but that is my name. But again, look at this piece. It is incredible. The scope, the scale, the colours, the shades. and I think it's like 8 years old, and it's proof that people haven't just tagged on it, you know, like, so no one's just like scrawled over it. So if you want to kind of make an area a bit better, maybe spray, give some fresco painters, some tigers, well, not some tigers, give some fresco painters, street artists and graffiti writers something to do and make the city look a bit better. Obviously it doesn't work in every case, and I think there's some tags on this piece, but again, this piece is a collaboration with Cheo and Dreams, but yeah, the sloth's gone straight over it. Sometimes it makes me I don't know if people do it not realizing what they're doing, and some people definitely are bomb. Do you know what I mean? But you know, until I speak to the individual, you never know. But yeah, again, back to Silent Hobo. Look at this piece. I read an interview, and I'll link it in the description, and he's everything that someone should look up to be. He's raising a family, he surfs in BMXs, he loves Bristol, and he loves to paint. He started off tagging, but he got caught and then he stopped. But again, greatness started from society's most favourite means of advertising. And I have to use this quote that I found in the same interview. When he was asked, "When was your finest hour?" he simply replied, "Meeting my wife. It's all about love. It is what glues the fabric of life together." He is active on social media, and he uses YouTube, Instagram and Facebook. I haven't explored his Facebook as much as his Instagram, but there is an extensive amount of pieces on all of his socials, and there is much more on there than in this video. I cherry-picked some of my favourite ones and put them in there. On Insta he checks his DMs, and he's open to commission too, so if you have a sketch or an idea, he will flesh out the piece in any space, from a wall outside to your bedroom. My favourite idea would have to be in the kitchen, because of the theme. It'd be like fruit and veg everywhere, family eating and cooking, and all the other wonderful stuff that would be in the kitchen, like as a theme. Also, I'd have to try and get him to collab with Banksy to get a little ratatouille put in the kitchen somewhere, right? That is the vibe. That's the vibe. His YouTube is filled with time-lapse pieces showing the before and after. Watching a piece be born is absolutely incredible, and it gives you an inside look into the process. There are some real historical pieces on there, and to watch from start to finish is again really nice. His first upload was from 2010, and the latest one is from Gloucester Cricket Club. The great thing about YouTube and all of his socials is the indoor pieces that aren't accessible, they can be seen clear as day. A good example of this would be the Children's Hospital and the Cancer Trust, which he sprayed, which are both really stunning and a great place to give some artwork. But because the hospitals are obviously on a strict lockdown, I can't go in and film, but I can go on his YouTube and I can see all the pieces and all the work. I think the Montpellier train station piece is truly special as well. It could be the longest piece of fresco paint I've seen. Like when I walked along it, it is long, obviously, as you can see, but also it like indents in as well, so it's like further. But the amount of detail, the amount of ideas, the colours just to be created is wonderful, and I believe that a lot of it was worked with a primary school as well. So again, it's the community working through the hands of Silent Hobo to create an amazing piece. You know, just look how long and wonderful it is. It's not like he ran out of ideas just going along there, you know. I really love the use of Bristol influences in his pieces, and also he loves BMXing, so I like when you see that in his work, because that's his two passions into one. And the piece is just so warm, like the further along the wall I go, the wisher just kept it going on and on. So maybe that's the idea. Maybe we've got to build the longest possible wall for my man to go and do. At the furthest point I could find his work on socials was Singapore, which is an amazing place to have pieces up, being that it's an exchange between West and East and a financial hub for the entire planet. It means a variety of people would have seen his work. His work is also in Barcelona, Portsmouth, Devon and way more places. The size of the pieces also means in the right location, it's kind of like being in an entire gallery, and it's like walking around Silent Hobo's curated space. Not to mention the vast amount of areas in Bristol itself, from north, east, south and west. Every part seems to be covered. and we have this wonderful, wonderful house here, and it's both sides. It's just like his, I don't know, I can't really say magnum opus, because it's hard to point to one piece being better than another in a way, but this one has so much flavour and warmth and personality. It's every individual mini part of the bigger piece. It could be a separate piece by itself, let's say. It speaks volumes to his ability and his talent. This is my most controversial moment, because I want to talk about my Mount Rushmore. If you don't know the concept, essentially you pick 4 people from a community, and you can only pick 4 people no matter what, and you make them the S tier ones in your eyes. Not to take anything away from anyone else, I can't stress that enough. I love the whole scene of the Bristol Graffiti, but Silent Hobo is definitely one of my 4 Bristol artists that, along with Banksy, Cheo and Inkie, have to be my Mount Rushmore personally. I will include a map below as the final screen to show you the parts of Bristol where his pieces are, so you can go and see them physically, because again, there's something about being next to a massive piece that is truly incredible. And I missed the NHS piece in St Werburgh's, which is a recent one, and it sucks because I absolutely love that one, and I tried to find it, and it wasn't from lack of trying, but I'm a complete stoner, and I was right around St Werburgh's and I just couldn't seem to see it, but I will add it up for my personal collection at one point. Be sure to go follow Silent Hobo on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook. Send a message in, he's open for commission, because as you've seen, there's no job too big, too small. Like the video and subscribe for more. I was supposed to do cheo, but I leant this way because I love my man. So thank you very much for watching. Sub for more.